Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the weekly Wednesday for the Financial Freedom newsletter, where every week, every Wednesday, we delve into something inspirational, motivational, something excerpt taken from the Financial Freedom weekly newsletter. Wherever you are, if you're listening on Spotify, on iTunes, Google, be sure to click the like, subscribe, share, comment. And without ado, let's get into the show. Welcome everybody to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. And as you know, talk about 4 different types of freedom: time, financial, location, health freedom. In that light, I'm always interviewing entrepreneurs, investors, people on the cutting edge to share with those insights. So today we have Fred Moskowitz, and he dubs himself the alternative investment expert. So it's going to be talking about alternative investments, diversification, passive income investing. So it's going to be really interesting, and I look forward to talking with Fred. So welcome, Fred.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
We'll get started. How did you get started? Your company and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll tell you, it's been an exciting journey for me. I started out a long time ago working as a computer engineer, right? And I had a very successful career in the tech industry. I spent a lot of time working at technology startup companies and witnessing the birth of the internet, practically. And what happened was, after I saw my entire industry getting turned upside down because we had the bursting of the dot-com bubble, and then that was immediately followed by the September 11th terrorist attacks, right? All this turmoil. And what I discovered from all of that was that I was way too dependent on the income from my job. I loved my job. I loved the work I was doing, but there was all these circumstances outside of my control. And my paycheck was my only source of income. And I learned that no matter how talented of an engineer I was, how valuable of an employee I was, right? If things aren't going well at the company financially or in the industry all at large, that I could quickly lose my job through no fault of my own. And so having been through that, I started pursuing investing, learning about investing. That started my journey. And right away, I decided I wanted to get into buying and building assets to generate cash flow and income to supplement the work I was doing. And I got started building a real estate portfolio, buying properties here in Philadelphia, where I'm based out of. And after a few years, I then expanded that because I got involved in mortgage note investing, where we're buying mortgage notes and holding them for cash flow and income, because effectively you step into the shoes of the bank and become the one receiving those monthly payments instead of the one making the monthly payments. And it's a really powerful strategy.
So interesting. I've heard of note investing, tax lien investing, all of these crowdsourcing platforms. So tell us more about this idea of earning passive income through note investing.
Yeah, absolutely. So with note investing, let's talk about what it is. What is note investing? A lot of people are familiar with investing in real estate, right? You can buy houses, commercial property, multifamily property. But note investing is where we're going to talk about investing in the paper, the financial portion of those real estate transactions. It's all about the notes and mortgages associated with those properties. And I feel that it's a very interesting part of the real estate business. And a lot of real estate investors, they don't pay any attention to it. A lot of times when they think of a note and mortgage, they think of being the borrower and not as being the lender. But note investing effectively allows you to step across the aisle and become the bank, become the one receiving those monthly payments. And what it does is a great way to increase the predictability of your cash flow and income on an ongoing basis. And that's what note investing is all about.
So is there where do you go to search for which notes to invest in?
Yeah, great question. And I talk a lot about this in my my book that recently came out about note investing. Where do you go to find notes, to buy notes? So notes are bought and sold every day on the secondary. There's a secondary market for mortgage notes. And so that's where we go to buy them. A lot of the transactions are done through, they're either auctions or through relationships. A huge part of what we do is through relationships, building relationships with other note investors, with other note funds and hedge funds. They're the ones that sell these periodically. And I feel that, as investors, if you're investing in alternative investments of any kind, right, real estate, you doing multifamily syndications, any of that, a lot of it comes through through meeting people, going to conferences, going to events, meeting the people that are active in the industry, that have an established track record, and know what they're doing. They have that expertise, because when you bind together with folks like that, they're the ones that are able to go out and execute with excellence and mastery. And that's so important. So a lot of this comes down to the skill of building relationships. And it's skill I work on every single day.
Interesting. And which is quite interesting when you talk about the importance of networking and relationships, and you talk about this skill and how you work on it. What are some mindsets, daily habits that you use to, cultivate these relationships?
Oh, there's so many. Mindset. Here's a big one: is go out into the world seeking to serve. Ask yourself the question: how can I serve someone else today? Add value. Don't show up wanting to be a taker. Instead, show up being a giver. And it changes the dynamic so much. But serving others, adding value to others, it's the great way to set up a very nice dynamic. And what I find is that when you put that type of energy out into the world, it comes back to you. Many times over. It really does. So that's a little bit of my thoughts on mindset. But as far as let's get down the brass tacks and talk about some tactics, right? Simple things we can do. Make a couple of phone calls every day. I like to make 5 calls every day. How do I pick those calls? Well, I may scroll through my contacts and my cell phone. I may take a look in my CRM and see if is there someone I haven't spoken with in a while, and just reach out, check in, see where you could help someone, maybe make a referral for something, or they need to bounce off an idea off of you, or advice, anything like that. But it's really nice when you're calling someone and you don't need anything, right? Yeah. It's a nice conversation. It really is. So many people, they're on guard, on the defensive about answering the phone. And when you change the dynamic, it really shifts things.
Yeah. Very interesting. And then, what you're talking about is this new idea of notes, and and I the other thing is networking, relationship, cultivating a habit of giving value. And then you talk about the best investment that a person can make. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm in Philadelphia, right? the birthplace of our nation, practically. And so I always love looking back at one of our founding fathers who is a hero of mine. I consider him a mentor. We've never met. He's no longer alive, yet I still consider him a mentor because I learned so much from Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, such an interesting guy, such an interesting life. He left so many gifts for the world in his inventions, in his concepts and ideas, and in his body of work that he shared. So one of my favorite quotes that he left us with is this. It's that the idea that investment in knowledge always pays the highest dividends. And so what that means is the most important investment that you can ever make is an investment in yourself, learning skills, developing skills, going to attend events, conferences, masterminds, spending some money to do this. A lot of times you have to travel, you have to spend a few days going somewhere, but when you go to events, especially investment themed events, you learn so much. Who are you around? You're around like-minded individuals, right? And some of them are going to be at a much higher level than you. So what's that like, right? What's it like to step into a room and all of a sudden the people that are there are talking about much higher level problems than you have, and solutions. You can learn so much. And there's some opportunities there for you to add value, to provide feedback, to network, build relationships, all of that. And it all starts with an investment in yourself. Spend time reading, right? Spend time listening to great podcasts, just like this one, right? Taking courses online, all of these things. Remember that your education does not stop when you graduate from school. And unfortunately, a lot of people take that philosophy, but it's lifelong. It's lifelong. So always be seeking to invest in yourself, invest time, invest effort, and invest money. And that's something that no matter what happens, it can never be taken away from you.
Yeah, and then you talk about this idea of how a person's mindset impact their growth and potential, and sharpening your mindset around money. Describe that. It's quite interesting when you say sharpening your mindset around money.
Yeah, there's so many people that end up having limiting beliefs about money and scarcity. We hear these sayings like money doesn't grow on trees, and money is the root of evil, all of these things. And oftentimes you have to work to right size that. And with the mindset, it's about growth, right? Investing in the right places. It's about saving and investing your money. It's about paying yourself first. Have you ever heard of that concept, right? From Robert Kiyosaki teaches about this. The idea that when you get your pay, allocate some to your savings and investing, and then live off the rest of it, as opposed to the other way around, as opposed to paying all your bills and then saving and investing what's left over. And a lot of times there is no leftover. And so that's what happens. Look at the way, here's something. Look at the way the IRS makes sure that they collect taxes. The way they do it is they deduct it from your paycheck before you get it. So by the time you get your paycheck from your job, the taxes have already been deducted and you don't see them. Well, guess what? We can do the same thing. We can set up direct deposit. You can use technology, separate off 5%, 10% of every paycheck and have it go into a separate account so that you won't have that money coming in. It'll get separated for you. And then you can go out, let that accumulate, right? Because you don't save money for the sake of saving, but save money to let it build and then go invest, buy an asset, invest in an asset, whatever it is. And that's really powerful.
Very fascinating discussion. And I love this idea of investing in yourself and education, and this idea around the notes.
Yeah.
How can people find you on social media, contact you? And I know you have a book on the check, and I recommend the audience to check it out on Amazon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, my book is available on Amazon. It's called The Little Green Book of Note Invest. And the best way to reach me, to get in touch with me, is through my website, which is fredmoskowitz.com. Or if you'd like an easier spelling than that, you can go to giftfromfred.com and it'll take you to my website. And once you're there, you can request to receive a special report I've put together about note investing, give you a high level overview. You can connect with me. I always love connecting with other investors, networking, and building relationships. As I said earlier, building relationships is one of the most important activities that any of us can do. And it doesn't matter what type of investing you're involved in, it is super important because that's what gets you around like-minded individuals. It gets you thinking around higher level ideas and concepts, and it leads to growth for you, growth for the people around you. And
Yeah.
so I look forward to connecting with you.
Yeah. And for all the audience out there, um, all of Fred's resources will be in the links and show notes. Be sure to check him out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as his book, which is on Amazon, his website. And with that, thanks so much. It was a great conversation. And thanks for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a wonderful discussion.
I hope you really enjoyed that wonderful, inspirational, motivational piece. Again, wherever you are listening, if you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're on everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Audible. And without much ado, be sure to thank this show's sponsors, and we'll see you next week.